Well, it's a new week and we're back from spring break, so welcome back in our Graduate Research and Design class. And this week is about narrative and ethnographic research. And so we're easing back into things a little bit with this class. Narrative, you'll just be reading about those, chapter 12 and 13 in the book and doing a quiz on each one. And that's really all the work for this week. I thought it might be nice to ease back into work after spring break, after a nice, hopefully for you, long and relaxing break. Although more likely the truth is that it's been kind of a hectic and busy break for you, but I understand that's how it is as a student. So anyway, these are the chapters to read and those are the activities to complete. It's read chapter 12 and review the slides, read chapter 13 and review those slides, and then complete the 2 quizzes. So we're easing back into things. Also, a reminder, be sure to get your research activity to me as soon as you can. Try to get those research participants to respond to those questions, transcribe it, record it first, and then transcribe it. And make sure you fill out the full form and submit that to me in the Dropbox. And I'll keep checking the Dropbox to see who has submitted it and then grade it as I receive it. This is a major shift, though, this week, and it's kind of interesting how spring break did this for us, but spring break was a shift from quantitative research to qualitative research methods. And so we're shifting to qualitative research methods, and I wanted to give a little bit of an overview because I don't think the book does a very good job of differentiating. I mean, it does, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem to make it as clear to me as it could be. So here are some definitions that's pretty nice on a SNAP survey website. Qualitative research is primarily exploratory research. And you're trying to gain an understanding of the reasons, opinions, or motivations. It's the one that deals with feelings. It deals with insights into a problem or gives you ideas or hypotheses for potential quantitative research. And so the qualitative research is really about how people feel, what their experiences are. It's different than quantitative research, which we have been learning about thus far in the class. Quantitative research, by contrast, is used to quantify a problem by generating numerical data, or data that can be transformed into usable statistics like Likert scales. Strongly agree, strongly disagree, disagree, agree. Those can be transformed into numbers and then statistics can be crunched on them, as in my survey study that I'm completing. It's used to quantify things. Anything that can be turned into numbers can generally be quantified in quantitative research. And so qualitative research is different. It's not really numbers based. It's more about observing, maybe interviewing, getting a feel for things. And as you can maybe guess, a lot of people who like quantitative research don't see qualitative research as a very good thing or as a very clear thing. Yeah, well, what do the numbers say is what a lot of people with quantitative thoughts ask. But there is a real value to qualitative research in understanding people's experiences or describing in rich, thick detail an experience or a setting. There is a lot of value to it. And for your proposal, for your research proposal that you're creating for this class, you can do either one. You can do qualitative or quantitative, and whichever one you choose, you must choose the appropriate method as outlined in the chapters in the book. So if you choose qualitative research, then you're going to choose something like narrative research, ethnographic research, case study research, and so forth. Or if you choose quantitative research, then you'll choose causal comparative research, survey research, or whichever one of those that you want to choose. But you need to choose one and stay within that one for your research proposal from now on. And that research proposal, the next step for that, I think, is due in a couple of weeks. I've graded your other one and given you feedback on that already. So that's what's going on with qualitative and quantitative research. And there's certainly a difference between the two. Qualitative is a newer type of research. Quantitative has been around for a while, the crunching of the numbers and doing statistics and so forth. But qualitative is relatively new. So those are some of the different items. And then narrative research and ethnographic research are two types of qualitative research, and you'll be reading about those this week. Narrative research is more about telling somebody's story. And it's about taking somebody's experiences, usually an individual, and kind of putting them in a chronological order and telling their story in as much rich and thick detail as you can. And then chapter 13 is on ethnographic research, and that is more about going into a certain group or a certain place or a certain type of culture, I guess, and experiencing that culture, becoming a part of that culture, and making observations, taking all kinds of data from maybe observations, interviews, focus groups, all kinds of different ways of gathering data and then presenting a story of this group or culture. So ethnographic research is different in its own right. And there's also a third one that we'll learn about next week. We'll be learning about a different method of qualitative research called case study research, in which you go into a bounded system of some kind and examine that and take a look at that. So those are the, for the chapters, those are the three main areas or three main types of qualitative research. Different researchers have different ways of looking at things, but you'll need to choose one of those three if you are to submit a proposal that is qualitative. All right, well, I think that's all for this week. So have a great week and good luck with your work.